Ladies and gentlemen, as we just have learned that what is power school and what is the argument of the power school. Its central argument is that strategy making involves power in politics. Strategy making is a process in which different actors negotiate for having a practical strategy, and this is very important. One thing you all need to remember is this, that for implementing any strategy, whether it is deliberate, intended or emergent, organizations and its actors require resources, and it is a fact that resources are scarce, resources are limited, both within the organization and outside the organization. Remember that those who are inside the organization, they actually contest for the limited resources held by the organization, and the resources outside the organization which are also limited. Organizations actually contest to hold those resources, actually to pursue their strategies. As resources are scarce, resources are limited, so it is really expected that when there are more than one actors involved in the process, they will contest to have the resources. And when there is any type of contest, always remember there will be power game and there would be involvement of the politics. Now let us move to the specialized discussions in the power school. As I mentioned that power school is divided at two levels, micro power and macro power. The micro power which deals the politics and power games within the organizations, and the macro school which deals with the power games and politics organizations actually play with the outer world in the outer world. Let us see first, I'll talk about the micro power. In the micro power, we'll be talking about four things. The strategy making as a political process. We'll try to focus on this, that strategy making is a political process. Then be moving on to political games in the organization. It would be a very interesting topic. You will be really enjoying. Those who have been in the organizations will be giving meanings to the practices around them, and those who have yet to join the organizations, they will be able to conceive that how actually organizations work. Then we'll be talking about the benefits of politics. That politics is something which also has got benefits, contrary to the general perception that there is no positive thing attached to the politics. The fourth one will be talking about using politics to get strategies accepted. It's a useful tool for the purpose. Now let's first talk about strategy making as a political process. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that we have already made the case here that wherever the distribution is such that some people hold more authority and others hold less authority, some people have more access to or better access to resources and others have less access to resources. As both type of factors in power, in authority or not in authority, at upper level or at lower level, they have got their own dreams, they have got their own aspirations, they have got their own interests, they have got their own objectives. Since they all have got their own unique dreams, objectives, interests and aspirations, they all try to have as many resources as possible. What actually has to be done by the leadership in the organizations? The leadership actually has to take their strategies in the organizations in such a way that they, on the one hand, gather as much support as possible, and on the other hand, reduce as much resistance as possible in the organization. And for that purpose, you have to play politics. So actually, strategy making is a political process. Don't think that this is something mechanical, and don't think that this is something that you issue an order and things starts happening automatically. It is not the case. You have to do it. And in the political way, sometimes you have to make something more beautiful, which is actually, it is not as beautiful. And something, or sometimes you have to reduce the ugliness of something as to its real level, so that you could make the things acceptable for the people. Because actors are involved. If you do not manage them, and for managing the people in the organizations, you have to play politics. So remember that the strategy making is a political process, and without the political steps, you cannot make your strategy successful. Organizations, and in the political process, these steps are to be remembered. Their organizations are coalitions of various individuals and interest groups. I just mentioned coalitions are there. There are different individuals and there are different interest groups. And there actually those who find out common interests and common goals, they develop coalitions in the organizations. And there are always grouping in the organizations, whether it is obvious or not. There are enduring differences among coalition members in values, beliefs, information, interest, and perceptions of reality. So there are differences. Though they have got coalitions, different members have got coalitions in the organizations, they have got collaborations, intentions to collaborate, they have got associations, they have got affiliations. But remember, their interests are always different. When the interests are different, they actually try to pursue different goals. Most important decisions involve the allocation of scarce resources. Who gets what? I just mentioned that. Resources are scarce, resources are limited, and it is the game in the organizations that who gets what. Scarce resources and enduring differences give conflict a central role in organizational dynamics and make power the most important resource. So, when resources are limited, and there are many candidates, in your opinion, who will get the most? The one who is in power, the one who holds the authority. So power is the decisive factor in the organizations. Number 4 and number 5, goals and decisions emerge from bargaining, negotiation, and joking for position among different stakeholders. Remember that as we have been arguing throughout almost all schools, that there is one very important possibility of the strategy, and that is emergent strategy. So remember that goals in the organizations and different decisions, they emerge as the part, as the process, as the result of bargaining and negotiations between or among different actors in an organization. So conclusively we can say once again that in the organization there are different actors, they have coalitions, they have different interests, the resources in the organization are scarce, the different actors want more and more resources. Actually the decisive factor in the organization becomes the power. Those who hold more power, they get the more resources. And the strategy actually in the organization also emerges a result of the negotiation between different actors in the organization. Thank you very much.